your baby has recently started rolling over, especially in their sleep, then you may be low-key panicking and wondering how to get their sleep back on track. Hi there, my name is Amy. I'm a pediatric sleep consultant and the founder of the Postpartum Party, and today I'm going to share with you what to do when your baby starts rolling over in their sleep, how to keep them sleeping safely, and how to get everyone's sleep back on track when your baby starts rolling. What age do babies typically start rolling? So every baby is going to reach this milestone at a different age, but it's fairly common for most babies to start rolling from about 3 to 6 months old. Usually, babies will roll from their tummy to their back first, and then once they master that, later they will roll from their back to their belly next. Sometimes this rolling is going to happen while your baby is awake and you are able to witness it, but other times it could happen for the first time while your baby is in their crib and even in their sleep. So how do we make sure that you keep your baby safe if they're about to approach the rolling milestone? And can your baby sleep on their stomach when they do roll over from their belly to their back? And is it okay to keep your baby sleeping that way when they do roll over from their back to their tummy? Generally, if your baby is strong enough to push up and roll over from their back to their belly, then it's typically okay to let them stay that way if they're in their crib. Double check with your baby's pediatrician if you have any concerns about them rolling over from their back to their tummy and sleeping like that. Even if your baby can roll over from their back to their tummy and sleeps that way, it's still recommended that you put your baby in their crib on their back up until they're 12 months old. For us, as soon as my daughter was able to start rolling from her back to her belly, we would put her in her crib on her back and she would flip over immediately. But we continued to place her on her back up until she was 12 months old to follow the American Academy of Pediatrics recommendations. If your baby has started rolling in either direction or is even showing the signs that they're going to be able to start rolling soon, and I'll go over those signs in a minute, then it's time to take a few safety precautions to keep your baby safe. The first thing that we want to do if your baby has started showing the signs of rolling is transition them out of the swaddle. Once your baby is able to roll, we really want their arms to be free so that they can move them up and use them to position themselves up and lift themselves up a little bit once they're rolling over. So let's say that your baby rolls from their back to their stomach. We want them to be able to push up and lift up and kind of be able to move their head, or be able to lift up and roll back the other way if that's something that they want. So it's recommended to transition out of the swaddle as soon as your baby starts rolling. And why I recommend transitioning out of the swaddle once they even show signs of being able to roll over is so that they don't roll over the first time in the middle of the night in their swaddle and then not be able to position themselves safely. So even once you see the signs of being able to roll over, we want to go ahead and move away from the swaddle. Here are some of the signs that your baby is close to being able to roll over. Once you see these, go ahead and start to transition them out of the swaddle. Pushing up on their arms or hands during tummy time, rocking back and forth while lying on their back, starting to roll onto their side, lifting their head and shoulders up when lying on their stomach, and crossing one leg over the body. I have a video all about transitioning out of the swaddle and how to make that transition for your baby. The other thing that we want to do once your baby starts rolling or even showing those signs of rolling to be extra safe is transition them out of the bassinet. Most bassinets have a weight or a height limit, but it's most likely that your baby will reach the rolling phase or that developmental milestone before they reach the weight limit of their bassinet. So if your baby starts rolling over either way, we want to transition them out of the bassinet to protect them from falling out of their bassinet. A couple of other things that we want to make sure that you're doing if your baby is starting to roll over is make sure that their sleep space is safe. So this means using a firm, flat mattress. We don't want any loose objects in the crib, so no soft blankets, pillows, toys. We really want a bare crib. Just the fitted sheet and the mattress are the only things that should be in the crib. The big question is, how do you get your baby to sleep once they start rolling over if rolling has disrupted their sleep? The first thing that I want you to do is to practice during the day. I want you to practice tummy time and rolling a ton during the day so that your baby can really work on using those muscles and getting themselves rolled over in either position that they're working on so that they can be comfortable doing it on their own at nighttime. The second thing that I usually advise my clients to do is if your baby rolls over from their back to their stomach and they're having a hard time settling there, you can go ahead and go in, flip them over one time, and then you can offer some crib side soothing. So that could be a gentle pat on their chest. Sometimes just keeping a firm but gentle hand on their chest can really help babies. So you can flip them over one time, soothe them while they're on their back, and see if that will help them go back to sleep. What I don't want you to do is to get in the habit of flipping them all night long. So if your baby is rolling from their back to their tummy and you just go in and flip them every time, it's going to become like a game to them, and they're not really going to learn how to sleep without you constantly being there flipping them back over. So I usually advise parents flip them once, and then you can either soothe them crib side, or if you want, you can use one of the sleep training techniques and then implement that to help them fall asleep in their new position. If you want a step-by-step guide on how to help you sleep train your baby, then the Baby Dream system is for ages 4 months through 2.5 years old for babies who are in a crib. It includes all the information that I share with my clients one-on-one to get your baby falling asleep on their own and sleeping through the night, as well as for nap time. Go ahead and check that out in the description box below and make sure to use the code for YouTube. I know it can be really stressful when your baby starts rolling, and sleeping on their stomach can cause a lot of anxiety, or it can cause an interruption to everyone's sleep if your baby is having a hard time settling on their stomach. You do have options. This is a temporary setback. Practicing during the day will help your baby the most improve those muscles and that strength so that they can flip in both directions and get themselves to a comfortable position. If you have any questions about your baby rolling, sleeping on their stomach once they start rolling, or practicing tummy time during the day, then go ahead and leave those in the comments below. I hope this was helpful. Sweet dreams.